What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. And before we get today started off, I just want to thank you guys so much for allowing my channel to hit 1,500 subscribers. Now, as I'm filming this video, I've already made it a little bit over 1,500, and I can't thank you guys enough for that. The support you guys continue to show me is just so awesome. Thank you guys so much, man. But anyway, today's video is going to be all about working on my fiance's 2016 Lincoln MKC. And what I'm going to be doing today is showing you guys how to change the O2 sensor, the upstream, which is bank 1 sensor 1. Got a little engine code for that, so we're going to change it out. I'm going to show you guys how to do that, because from what I could see on YouTube, nobody shows how to change the Lincoln MKC one out. They all show how to change the Ford Fusion, or no, not the Fusion, the Ford I believe is what it is. And it's basically the same thing. It's the same drivetrain, same engine, all that stuff. So they all show how to do that one. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it up on the Lincoln just in case people don't know that it's the same motor and stuff. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep it in the garage and work on it in there, because I got plenty of room in there. There's plenty of light in there, so there's no reason to really pull it out here into the sunlight in the driveway here. I mean, it is a really nice day, but for some reason, like, I got this thing with my eyes where sometimes the sun is way too bright, so I have to wear my sunglasses no matter what. Otherwise I just squint constantly like this. Like, it's way too bright, and I don't want to be doing this to you guys the whole time, right? So I'm gonna keep it in the garage. We'll work on it in there, take you guys through this little process. It should be really fast and simple, so let's get it going. All right, guys, so after you get your hood popped, the first thing we're going to want to do is remove our air filter cover. There's 4 bolts on it. They're all 8mm, so we get those taken apart. Yeah, that should do that. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is get this battery cover out of the way, because we need to get that unhooked. And that is going to be a 10mm, but we also have to remove this battery strap right here, the little bracket that goes over the top of it. I think that's a 10mm also. So we'll get that off of there, we'll get the battery unhooked. And then over here on this side, let me move you guys around a little bit. Right there, we're going to have to remove that ground battery strap right there off the body. We'll just get it off of there, and then I'll wrap it up with some tape, or just put a little microfiber rag over it so it doesn't reground itself. Okay, so for now I'm just going to go ahead and unhook the positive side of this battery. Alright, and then I got to get this little box, the breather box, out of the way. So we'll go ahead and unhook this little clip right here. And now we need to undo this bolt here, I believe. It's just this one little 8mm on the side here, and that's not going to work. There's a second bolt down here on the bottom. You got to get it loose, and then we can remove this little spot that the air breather sits in. Okay, so once you get that bottom bolt loose and this top one, you're going to take this little strap here and remove it. Just a little clip on that side too, and then we're supposed to be able to just pull this right out. At least that's what the video showed online, but I really don't think that's the case here. I think we need to remove this off of that hose first. Alright, guys, I was struggling with it a little bit, but I see now that you have to get this little tube off of it, which is in the bottom of it, of the box there. So you just pull it, push it out of the bottom of the box on the inside, get that sucker out of the way. Now this thing can be swung over, and you just try to wiggle this sucker up out of here. I call it a sucker, but got to get this little breather box out of here. And there we go. See, over here it's got this pretty sturdy clip in it. It's clipped down into the frame of the vehicle there, so you got to really pull it up with quite a bit of force. But now that that's out of the way, you can start removing the rest of this battery. Like I said, I got to get the little ground cable off the body over there, and then we'll get the negative off of the battery, and then this cover here, I'll show you guys in a minute. All right, so I'm going to get this ground cable off over here, and it is a 13mm. Yeah, got that off of there. Now we got the ground cable loose off the battery. Like I said, I'm going to wrap it up with this little towel so it doesn't reground itself to the body. Figure I'll just use a towel instead of wasting some tape, because it's just temporary. Now we're going to take our 10mm and get this battery strap off, and then we'll go ahead and finish removing the battery. Alright, there's the battery strap. So first what we want to do is get these little clips right here unsnap from the battery housing, the battery box housing. Just be kind of careful and get back behind them with your little clip remover if you got one. If not, then just go ahead and use your like flathead. Just be careful when you're doing it so you don't ruin them. We also need to get this unplugged here. This little connector that goes onto the negative terminal. See, it's just one of those little simple push in on the pin and pull it at the same time. So I don't know if you guys can see that real well or not, but now that that's out of the way, we're just gonna take this edge of the body or battery box here, you pull it up out of its place, and you're supposed to just be able to lay it back flat like that, kind of like move that wire out of the way. Be gentle with it, you don't want to mess some stuff up. You kind of use that air tube to hold that back out of the way. And now you just slide the battery forward towards us, toward the front of the vehicle. Now we can go ahead and take that battery, or unhook the negative off of it. That's going to be a 10 millimeter again. Now we can get our battery out of the way, which I just changed this battery out like a couple days ago. It's brand new, and this thing's heavy. It's a nightmare. But luckily, it's got these fancy handles on it, which sort of make it a little easier. Man, that battery box, it's got to come out. But as you guys can see, get you a little closer. As you can see, it's pretty dirty. So I think when I get it out of there, I'm going to get it all cleaned up, get that battery acid washed out of it so it doesn't eat it up or corrode it any farther. But yeah, that's the next thing, guys. We got to get the battery box out of the way, and we got to remove this. Just undo these two little bolts right here and swing it over. Two little T25s. They're not very tight, so it's not very hard to get off of there. Okay, get those out, and we just slide that over like that. And that creates a little bit more visual room for us. The bolts in the bottom of the battery box are 10 millimeter. Oh, okay, I got it out. All right, now all that's out of the way, here we go. Dive down in here, and my light's in a terrible spot. I'm sorry about that, you guys. So I got my other hand light here. So from what I can see, I don't know if you guys can tell, but the O2 sensor is down there, right before the catalytic converter. I basically have my light shining on it right now. It's right down in there. And then it's easy for me to reach back there and get to. But the problem is this is the only tool that I've got to work with is one of these. Hopefully it works out really well, but with the angle of it, I'm sure it's going to be a nightmare. And also, it appears to me as though the wiring harness that we need to unplug is this one really close right here. So that's going to be real easy to get to. But the challenge is going to be getting to that O2 sensor and being able to loosen it. And the other thing that I have noticed is, you guys see that right there? All that corrosion from the battery on those brake lines right there? That's a pretty poor design by Ford, if you ask me. Ford, Lincoln, whatever. Put the brake lines right underneath where the battery corrosion could run onto them. So looks like here in the very near future, I'm going to have to change out those two lines. It's really simple. They just go from right there, just straight up to that top of that box right there. So they're real short, and it's really easy to get to. So hopefully I can get those figured out. Probably have to go to the dealership because I can't read the parts numbers on them. They're real hard to read. I can't make that out at all. You guys probably can't even make it out on camera because this GoPro sucks. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get those and replace them soon. But yeah, that's what I'm faced with. Reaching down in there, we get that O2 sensor changed out and put us all back together, and hopefully that takes care of our check engine light. Oh my god. This is gonna work out. All right, you guys, check it out. Finally got it out. Had to put some little WD on it. Well, not some WD, it was the PB blaster that I got here. This good stuff. Some nice little penetrating oil stuff. Man, I finally got it out, you guys. That's awesome. It's got this big old clip on it, so you have to unsnap it from a bracket under there. And then it's also clipped to the other O2 sensor wire. So they got like this little plastic clamp that clamps them both together, so you have to get it off of that also. It's kind of a pain to get down in there and get it all done, but here it is. Old one's out. You can tell it's in pretty bad shape. So I'm gonna throw the new one in, get all this stuff put back together, just in the opposite order, like the reverse order of what you guys see me put it or take it out. So I'm going to slam it all back together, and then I'll show you guys once it's all put back together. Probably get this engine bay nice and cleaned up because it's really dirty underneath here. Get the car fired up, clear that code, and hope that the code stays gone. So yeah, I'm going to throw it back together real quick and get back with you guys. And just like that, it's all done, guys. Now I just got to get it fired up, pull it out of the garage. And unfortunately, I do not have time to wash the engine bay down in this video because my fiance has to get to work. And just here in like a few minutes, she's got to get to work. So we're going to get it fired up, pull it out of the garage real quick, get that check engine light cleared, and see if it's going to stay gone. Well, it started. That's a good thing. Obviously, the check engine light's still on because we got to get it out of the garage and clear it. So, get this thing out of here. Yeah. Beepity beep. It's such a tight fit. Trying to get it out of the garage. It's so close. Coming out. Throw these mirrors out. Alright, let's plug this thing in. I think that's how it goes. Oh, this way. Okay, got that plugged in. Let's see. Let's go ahead and scan. Read the codes. O2 sensor. O2 sensor. Okay, we're going to erase the codes. Let's go up here in the car. Let's see if we can erase trouble codes. Yes. Now the check engine light is gone. Pretty awesome. Okay, so I think that's all we're gonna do there. And we will exit OBD test. Yes. All right, now we will unhook this. And I'm gonna go ahead, shut the car off, wait for a few seconds, turn it back on, check that out. So far, no check engine light, you guys. You know what that means? It means that now we can finally go back to using my fiance's favorite feature on this car. Remote start, you guys. That's what's up. Yes. Alright guys, so that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thank you guys so much for stopping in. If you enjoyed today's content, smash that like button. Leave your thoughts and comments down below. And don't forget to subscribe on your way out. Just like that, catch you guys in the next one.